Next, Arduino operators. The operators are widely used in Arduino from basics to advanced level. It plays a crucial role in every programming concept like C and C++. The operators are used to solve logical and mathematical problems. For example, to calculate the temperature given by a sensor based on some data. The types of operators classified in Arduino are 1. Arithmetic operators, 2. Comparison operators, 3. Boolean operators. First, arithmetic operators. There are 6 basic operators responsible for performing mathematical operations in Arduino, which are 1. The assignment operator. The assignment operator in Arduino is used to set a variable's value. It is quite different from the equal to symbol normally used in mathematics. Next, the addition. The addition operator is used for addition of two values. For example, 2 plus 1. So we're going to give a particle application. Now, here is an example of using the addition operator. So first, you type in the data type of the variable you want to create. Now you type in the name of the variable, then assign a value using the equal to symbol. Then here we're going to type in a mathematical calculation, which will be 3 plus 7, then close the statement with a semicolon. Variables can actually hold mathematical expression. Now inside the serial print, I just simply call in my variable name. Now click on start simulation. So inside my serial monitor, you discover it print 10. So it's actually solved that mathematical expression 3 plus 7, which is 10, and then our computer here printed 10. Next is the subtraction operator. This is used to subtract one value from another. For example, you simply type in the name, you simply create a variable of int data type and sub as the variable name, then assign a mathematical operation, which will be 10 multiplied 10 subtract by 5, then close the statement with a semicolon. So inside the serial print, you simply type in the name of the variable, which is sub. Next, you click on start simulation. Now inside the serial monitor, you discover 5 is written on the serial monitor because 10 multiplied by 5 will give you 5. Next is the multiplication operator. The multiplication is used to multiply two numbers. For example, here we'll create a variable with a data type of float because most times multiplication can actually give floating point values. So in order for those values to not be cast out, we will have to use a particular amount, the data types to hold those values. So we type in float and then type in the name of our variable. Then assign a value to the variable. Assign a mathematical expression to the variable, which will be 5, which will be 5 multiplied by, which is signified by an asterisk. So an asterisk is for multiplication. So multiplied by another value, which is 2, then close the statement with semicolon. Next, inside the println function, I simply call my variable name, which is multiply. Now I click on start simulation. Don't worry about my grammatical expression. I just want you to note these expressions properly. Now, inside the serial monitor, 10 is being written on the serial monitor because 5 multiplied by 2 will actually give us 10. And because you're using a floating point data type, it added decimal fractions to the value after it's printed on the serial monitor. Next, division. The division is used to determine the result of one number divided by another. For example, first we type in the name of the data type, which is float. Then we type the variable name, which will be divide. Then we assign a mathematical operation, which will be 20 divided by 2. Then we end the statement with the semicolon. Now you simply type in the name of the variable inside the printing parentheses. Now you click on start simulation. So if you click on the serial monitor, you discover it's written 10. Why? Because 2 divided by 20 is going to result to 10. So we simply made our mathematical calculation. Next will be modulo. The modulo operator is used to calculate the remainder after the division of one number by another number. So here is a quick example. Now we have to type in the name of the data type, then our variable name. So I'm going to use mode for short. Now we assign a mathematical expression which will be 7 modulo 2. A modulo is represented by a percent sign. Now we add our semicolon. So inside the point name, simply type in the name of the variable. Then click on start simulation. So here inside this serial monitor, it's written 1.0. Why? Because when 2 is divided by 7, it will give us a remainder of 1. So modulo just prints out the remainder of any division that is being done on the computer. So we are going to talk about casting. Casting is a term which refers to as the removal of decimal value when a calculation is made. So here is a quick example. So we will create two variables. The first will be stored in floats. So the variable name is going to be cast, and we'll assign a mathematical calculation. Then we'll assign a mathematical calculation, which will be 7 divided by 2. And then end it with a semicolon. Then for our second variable, it will be an integer variable, and the name of our variable will be cast 1. So in order for our variables not to have two the same name to cause errors, we have to differentiate them. Now it will have the same value or the same expression, which will be 7 divided by 2. Then end the statement with a semicolon. So inside the first print line, we'll call the name of our variable cast. Then for the second print line, we'll call the name of the second variable, which is cast 1. Next, we click on start simulation. Now on our serial monitor, notice that the first value is given 3.0 and the second value is simply given 3. So when you're working with some mathematical um, calculations or expressions, and you expect to have decimal values, you actually use the floats. But if you're making use of mathematical calculation that does not use decimal values, you use the int. So whenever you use the int for calculations that may have decimal values, it will remove all decimal values and it will only display the integer values, something called casting, removing every decimal values and using just the integer values. So this is just a particular example of casting. Most operators are similar to usual operators used in mathematics.